I can hear you now. You said that in here we have a reversal and the lower shadow is longer than the upper shadow, but we've had a decline. Yes, I bought here based on the longer lower shadow, but it had all of the factors, but it just didn't wasn't right. You see, this is an unreliable candlestick. If it was reliable, it should have been empty, and it's not completed inside a pivot. You see, if this shadow was completed in these pivots, you could have said that it's reliable. If you remember, in the previous sessions, I told you that candlesticks are reliable when they are completed inside the pivots. So this candlestick was not completed inside a pivot, and that is why it has faded out and it hasn't been performed, and you've had a decline here. Another thing was that the news that was published last week completed and helped this decline. But the main thing was that it wasn't completed inside a pivot. It should have been completed in a candlestick in a pivot to be reliable. I think that it was completed in a pivot. Can we please check? I can't see the pivots. Now you have access to the pivots. So you see, in that area we didn't have any pivots. You see, if you look at it, you can't find any pivots at this area. Is it enough to go back 2 or 3 pages? You see, we have gone back for 3 or 4 pages now, and you've had 2 pivots that were expired a long time ago. You see, we went back for 5 pages, so that is not a very powerful pivot. It was weeks. That is why it wasn't performed. If it was completed in a pivot, in these 2 pivots, it would have performed because it would have been completed in a pivot, but in that area we don't have any pivots. I got it. That is my only question. But you see in here, based on what it looks like, it is reliable. But because it wasn't completed in the pivot, it was faded out. So that is what makes a candlestick reliable. I have another question now. What if we had this kind of a candle and I had a weak pivot in that area too? So hypothetically, if we had a weak pivot there, where should I start buying in that situation? Wherever you start buying, you should put your stop loss below the candlestick there. You should put your stop loss below this shadow here. So where should I buy? In this area you could have bought easily. That this shadow has opened this body here. The shadow and the body have to be opened. If that doesn't happen, that would be risky. For example, in here, the candlestick that we have here is a swing high candlestick. So if I want to do a buy order, I should put my stop loss below this candlestick and this shadow here. So the stop loss that I could put here in my buy order should be here below this shadow of my candlestick, which is my swing high candlestick. Or for example, in here we may open a buy order. The best point to start a buy order is right here. And you can put a small stop loss there too. Can we please move on to the weekly candlesticks? This is your weekly candlestick. It's descending, right? Yes, it is a swing high candlestick and it's descending. So what is your prediction? Can I predict based on this candlestick that it's going to go down? No. Okay, first of all, we have a trend line here. This is our trend line. So for the final confirmation of a downtrend, it has to go further than this area. So it engulfs the previous candle and it goes up. So it's too soon to decide that we have a descending signal. Based on the fact that our trend is an uptrend in the long term, do you say that? No, you see we have a trend line here. So it's possible that it's going to reach the trend line there. Yes, it's possible that it's going to reach the trend line and then go up. And in weekly time frame, it has to go further than that. If we draw the Fibonacci here, I think it's the 78 level. I'm not sure. No, you see, if you draw the Fibonacci, it has several Fibonaccis, but the most accurate one is this one. So it's on 11, and even when it comes lower than 23, you can start buying. But if the swing lows are moved, that is another confirmation for you, and then you can start buying. But right now it's too soon to start to buy. Can we please move on to the euro dollar chart? Because that's how I learn. Okay, this is your euro dollar chart. You have bought here, right? Yes. I'm long-term trading on this. Do you think it's going to reach that target? Yes, it has to. You see, if you look at this euro dollar chart in longer time frames, you see that the candlestick from last week was this one. It was a swing high and it was ascending, right? Yes, it was a continuation candlestick in an upward direction. So it tells me that I have a Fibonacci here. And the pivot here has to be reached. And the 50 level of Fibonacci is going to stop it. Is this a good place for buying? Yes, and also above your trend line there. You see you have several trend lines. One of them is this, and it's on the wall of your trend line here. Excuse me. The previous signal here was a descending one, and we had a swing high candlestick, and now it has declined. So it's going to reach the trend line and then retrace, right? So we shouldn't sell right now. Yes, that's right. You shouldn't sell at all. You have to buy now because you have pivots there and also 38 level and trend lines. All of these strategies tell you that you have to buy. So I should buy at euro dollar. Yes, you can. And if you want to put your stop loss, you see, I have bought myself because we've had kind of a sideways trend here. But you told me that in 50 and 38 and 61 it forms kind of a triangle. Yes, you could say that. It has broken the previous wolf technique there. Yes, it has broken the trend line from the top. But because below the 50 level we have very powerful resistances, we've had fluctuations here. it's second collision, right? Yes. We've had several collisions down there. But this is your third collision. But the resistance here is powerful. I think that it's going to come up to here. That is my analysis. Based on the trend line that we drew. In your long term, how long are you going to trade? Are you monthly doing it on your monthly trade or not? No, I'm doing a weekly trade. This week is probably going to reach this point. It has to reach this. But right now, it's stuck there. Because above it, we have pivots, and below it, we also have pivots. So it's stuck between these two, and it has fluctuations. But we have to wait and see to see when exactly we're going to have a breakout. And it goes up a little and then it retraces again. In gold chart we had a decline too. You see, in gold chart it's not very visible. If you draw the Fibonacci, partial Fibonacci in your gold chart, you see that it's in your 38 level. Exactly. It's weird that the previous one was a swing high. Yeah, right now there are a lot of fluctuations in the market. You see, in euro dollar we've had many fluctuations here. So it's the best opportunity to buy. If you buy here, and you should put your stop loss there on your pivots. Or if you want to be more precise, it should be exactly right here where I have put my sell stop. Oh, I see that you have put your sell stop there. Yes, I have. That if it opens here, it would be hedged, and in the last week it hedged there and it returned. So I had to close my deal with a little bit of loss. So it broke the pivot, but it got rejected. But there's a possibility of retracement all the time. Yes, exactly. You see, it's when the price is stuck between the resistance and support, you have fluctuations. That is a dangerous zone. But the best opportunity to buy is right here, on the lower wall here. You can put your stop loss right there. Let's see what it is. It's 1.13402. Thank you so much. And this here, this has happened here, exactly. This is your on your 38 level, and you can buy here and put your stop loss there. So in the gold chart, we should start buying, right? Yes, and you should put your stop loss below it, based on the swing high candlestick that is right here. Can we please look at the gold chart in the daily time frame? So if we draw the Fibonacci here from this point, let me draw it. If we draw Fibonacci from here, you mean this? This would be your partial Fibonacci. Excuse me, I don't have access. So if you want to draw it from here, that would be your partial Fibonacci. And what level is it now? It's on 50 level? Yes. But you could say it's has reached 61 level as well. So it's on 61 level. Yes, you can almost say that. But I told you, the price is stuck between the pivots. So a lot of people lose in this market when the market has fluctuations. But the price is stuck in 38 level right now. But if it breaks this pivot here, it's going to go up suddenly. The pivots that are at what point? Can you please show me? What are you talking about? The gold chart? Yes. It's on 1 point. It's on 1327.21. You should wait. You can put a buy stop there, but the base opportunity to buy is right there, and you should put your stop loss there. Also in the euro, you have to buy there and put your stop loss below it. That is the least risk. Thank you. But in here, if you want to do scalp trading, that is good. You can gain a lot of profits because you've had fluctuations and you can exit. You can keep going back and forth based on the pivots. And last week the price was stuck in here. So you could have done a lot of this back and forth tradings. The candlesticks that are, I'm talking about the euro dollar chart. The candlesticks that are formed at the end, don't they mean that the price is going to be descending? No, you're saying the swing lows here are still up. Until the swing lows aren't moved, we can't say that. Thank you, yes. It's exactly the same in the gold chart. If we zoom out a bit, you see that the swing lows are completed above each other. In the daily time frame, it's the same. You see, if we have a swing high candlestick here and we've had a decline, then you can say that. That's right, thank you. It is more logical this way too. So we have to pay attention to the swing lows. Exactly. Excuse me, between the candlesticks, are there any candlesticks that you haven't taught us? Yes. I'm waiting for you to learn these completely and then we will move on to the other candlesticks. But I made a mistake here. That's okay. I will end the video right now and then we will start a new one.